Alrighty, well then, we are back to where, you know where, right here. Hi Josh, how you doing, buddy? Ooh,
Hi.
Someone just followed, thank you for the follow. Continuing on. So yeah, you step around the corner, and then all of a sudden you see a face that you have not seen in quite some time. They are surprised to see you, you are surprised to see them. What do you say? You guys roll. Oh, no, sorry, not roll for initiative. What do you say, Will? You tell me that what Oscar was about to do.
Sorry, I was going to use a minor action, since it was my major action run to get over there, presumably, and then minor action press the attack. Just.
I mean, we're not in
ready to
combat
pursue.
yet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You did tell me it would take a major action run to get there, so I was assuming that there would then be a minor action to follow.
Yep, you're perfectly fine. And Josh, what would you do with your minor action?
I'm just going to be stopping him from running. I'm basically going to plant myself so that he can't go.
I forget this guy's name.
Oh, it's actually in your character backgroundy stuff. Wait, where do we play you? I'm pretty sure
It's on the other game.
Oh, hold on. I had it too when we were. Give me a second to think. It was fuck. What's his name?
It's not Halen.
No. It's
Halen was the good.
Sorry. I had it, and then
Jocelyn.
I knew it was the
Joseph.
Joseph.
Okay. I go. Oh shit.
And then
I'm just gonna yell that.
You froze.
Yeah, you totally froze.
You said, "Oh shit," and then we're like this.
I was like, did everybody freeze? But then I saw Will's eyes.
I did. Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna say, Joseph, stop attacking, please. That's it.
Okay, and you say that, but they, you hear him say, "You fucking traitor," but in Gnomish. So you have to understand Gnomish. And he actually turns. And brings his attention directly to you guys. And the first thing he's going to do is he's going to attack at you, Oscar, who happens to be standing closer because you're literally between the two of them.
Sure.
That is what you'll do. Your spear is always out, but I imagine you didn't get your shield out.
If I heard combat, I actually would have pulled my shield.
Can you do that as you run? I imagine you can, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. As soon as I heard the clang, the first thing I did was pull the shield out, and then I would have run after.
Okay, that's fine. So get your shield out, and so he's actually going to go step up to attack at you. So let me first check something, because he has to technically do two different things here. /R 3d6 plus. Okay, and then
that will hit, in case that was a question.
What was that?
If that's a question of whether or not that hits, that hits.
Oh yeah.
That one does not.
No, that's fine. I'm cool. I was doing stuff for a second. Okay. So yeah, you so he actually comes up to you, and he takes with his shield, sword, all that stuff. You have your spear and shield out and everything. He actually steps up. And he kind of takes a hard step to the side, almost looking like he's going to swing to take out your shield. But you're somebody who's very experienced at fighting these, fighting different types of warriors, so on and so forth. So you're expecting, okay, he's trying to come around my shield. Let me just bring my shield back round to block his attack. But his attack actually wasn't to get around your shield. It was literally kind of like a feint kind of motion to get you to do exactly what you did, which was line your shield up to in his way. So he thrusts forward with the tip of his sword, almost using like a conduit of magic, and literally causes your shield to superheat to the point where it literally starts melting off of your arm. If you don't take the shield off your arm now, it is going to burn horribly in your hand as it's turning to goop, as it's literally becoming molten and it's and whatnot. So what I need from you first is what's that, dexterity check?
Okay.
Easily. It's one of those things where you just grab your spear. Now, this isn't your shield, so it's not as secure as your shield would be anyways, but you just grab the spear, you literally line it on the inside and cut free the bands that hold it to your arm, so it falls to the ground and continues like gooping into the ground and literally burning into the ground, dropping your defense because you no longer have a shield in hands, just the spear. So he does that to you, and kind of like gets himself into his own defensive stance immediately afterwards. That doesn't help him when a rock hits him in the back of the head that he didn't expect. It's one of those things where you hear the sickening crack of what could be bone cracking from just like the boom in the back of his head. And he literally stumbles forward, thrown completely off guard by that. It's one of those, Josh, your internet's getting super wonky, where it's like blinding white light. You can imagine the darkness around the rim of his eyes. You can almost imagine like he literally gets a nosebleed from how hard that hits him in the back of the head. It was a pretty intense attack. We're going to bring that to you, Chris Ellen. You notice this through the window. You're like, hi. Oh, shit. Oh, good, the boys are here.
She'll very quickly put her shirt on. And then tip
Boys are here, not the girls.
the dude in the chair and say, you have a chance right now. Are you going to take it?
Ooh, no, he didn't gag him. He says, fine, I'll take the chance. You tell me your lies and I'll believe them.
She will very softly set the chair back down and say, cast a spell and kill that man. Save my friends.
How?
She'll untie one hand.
It would literally have to cut the ropes. I mean, not to be difficult, but because of how he had described, you would literally have to cut the ropes.
You would.
To make it, which is fine. You know, you can do that. You're welcome to, if you want to.
My rope. No, don't worry about it. I already cut it into pieces. I gotta get more rope anyways.
I'll cut it.
Okay, sure. So you cut the rope to release one of his hands, which of course, because the whole thing's like wound together, I imagine it releases it. But like, he's like, it's going to take more than one hand as he's trying to pull the other one free.
No, it won't.
My wand?
I don't have it.
And he actually looks at you, and he genuinely looks at you like, I don't know what you want me to do. And you can literally see a desperation in his eyes.
I want you to kill that man with your magic.
I don't have my wand.
Do I know enough to know whether or not he actually can?
He probably can cast spells with his wand. However, he would need it for probably his higher tier spells. If that's his arcane focus.
I think that you can finish off that bleeding man.
I don't think you know who that bleeding man is.
Okay, hurt that bleeding man. As much as you can.
I'll do what I can, he says. And literally...
And I tip the chair again.
It's like he gets like a spark happening, and he hurls a flare down that way. So it's a huge burst of light that you guys have to make a willpower check, please. Would it be willpower, Josh? Not willpower. For something like a blinding effect, it'd be a Constitution check, wouldn't it?
Constitution stamina, I think.
For stunning that I use is willpower.
Oh, there would be self-discipline for that, right?
Willpower.
Not necessarily stunning though. This is like a blinding effect, like a dazzle, not like a daze.
I would do Constitution.
Constitution, cool. There you go. Bam. Do you want to modify that, Josh? And Oscar, I didn't see. Actually,
No,
Oscar,
I'm
I'm still
good.
waiting for
Sorry,
yours.
hold on. Do I need one? That's all?
Yeah.
Sorry.
You guys are in the area.
Constitution stamina.
No, not stamina. Just Constitution. Just
Oh, is
plain-
it not stamina?
No.
I thought those were usually stamina.
No. Not for a blinding effect.
Okay, fair enough. It's the same.
Beautiful. Good. So, are either of you happy with your
I'm happy
13
with
and?
I'm happy with 13.
Okay.
Happy with 14.
So your 14 actually works. The 13 does not. Funny enough.
All right.
That's all right.
So with your 14, there's a dazzling. That's like a big blinding flash that happens. So, but it's one of those things where like you see the spark flying out because of like your angle or whatever that's situated there. So you see it happening. So you're easily able to kind of like cover up your eyes and kind of like throw your shieldless arm in front of your face and kind of like blink just for a moment. Laszlo, you're unfortunately so distracted by by Jocelyn being here that you don't see it coming, and it just burns your eyes with such incredible brightness, and God, that gives you flashbacks that you really don't want to have to experience. As you're going to take a -2 on your checks for the next. Hold on.
And all checks related to sight, or just all checks period?
All checks that require you to be able to see what it is that you're doing. So you wouldn't necessarily get a minus for something like, Constitution, but you would for if you had to rely on seeing something to act on it.
All right, so 4 rounds?
For 4 rounds, a -2. So anyways, that's the spark that it does there. It actually reflects on the inside of the guy's shield that's over there, and it blinds him as well. So that luckily he gets the -2 as well. Technically speaking, Oscar will have... Oscar will have you go first.
Okay.
We're not rolling
Can
initiative.
we roll initiative?
This is fine.
I want to go before Oscar.
It's
fine. That's fine. Go ahead.
yeah, it's fine.
I want to touch him on his ass, whatever I can grab since I'm blinded, and I'm gonna cast enchant weapon.
Oh, me. Okay.
I'm gonna all I have to do is touch the weapon. I just fumble around to grab his spear.
Shaft.
Yeah, you got
And all right,
maybe.
so he gets a +2 to attack and damage rolls.
All right, hold on. Let me add that to the spear real quick so that that's just calculated.
It's for 6 MP. That's
It's now your turn, sir.
It's now my turn.
Huh?
All right. So quickly, as I throw the shield to the side, I also immediately draw a longsword out with my other hand, and I now have a spear in one hand and a longsword in the other.
I'm so sorry, Oscar. I know you're saying something important, but all I can think is, that's America's ass.
You're not wrong. That is a Malta's ass. So I am going to attack with my spear, which is in my main hand, which is how that works for now with dual wielding. So I'm gonna roll that attack. It's a 17 to hit.
Jesus Christ.
Does that hit?
Yeah, 17 actually is... he got himself into a defensive stance, but 17 is very high.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a lovely roll. That's 13 damage.
That is, in fact, a lovely roll. 13 points of damage is rather incredible.
Yeah. Cool. And then I'm gonna, for a minor action...
Do me a favor, roll me a perception check.
Okay. 15 with six stunt.
You don't need a stunt for this. So you can clearly tell that he's got a magical barrier up over himself. You rolled 13 damage. You imagine 13 damage is what landed. So even though he's not wearing physical armor, he definitely has some sort of magical armor or magical barrier up that works similar to how your armor works.
Yep.
Okay.
Then in that case, I'm gonna, as the minor action, I'm gonna take the activate action. I should have done this beforehand because I didn't realize it was a minor action. But I'm going to take the activate action and get a +1 bonus to my melee attack rolls for now because I'm on the offensive. And that is because I am a dual weapon fighter as well. So at the novice level of that, I'm just gonna ping that in chat for you there. Basically, if I take the activate action, I can take a +1 to attack rolls or a +1 to defense, and then I versus melee attacks until the end of the encounter. I can swap it with another activate.
Of course. He keeps his shield up, takes a step back and says, "For one, Laszlo, next time I see you, the odds will be better." And then he incants a spell that allows him to out of there.
Laszlo is like, he's crying when you look at him. Mainly because,
Last time he saw this guy, he saw a bright light.
And the bright light immediately happened afterwards. So he's having some flashback shit going on with him. And he's just like, we gotta kill him. He can't get away.
He's gone.
Oh no, that's bad.
Do I know anything about that spell that was just cast?
Roll me an arcane lore.
Whoa, too focused on Laszlo right now.
Not just Laszlo, but also just like the combat and the fact that was definitely a peacekeeper.
He's a peacekeeper, Laszlo. Who the hell was he?
He's not just a peacekeeper. He's a savant level.
Was.
No, is. I would assume he wasn't then. We were the same.
Yeah, my apologies.
I'm just assuming that he got the rank and promotion. Yep. I'm pretty sure he's savant level at this point. We were the same rank. We both succeeded in our mission. That's what got me my promotion. Oh my god, he needs to... He's a bad
He
enemy.
just teleported away. How far could he have gotten?
Can I do an arcane? I didn't... It would be kind of meta because I don't know if I would have been able to see what he did.
You could roll with a -2.
All
That's
right.
actually a good point because you have the -2 for that for the things that you can see.
So 15.
Are you happy with your 15?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, then you're not entirely sure where what spell it was. But you know that he can. You know that he has a couple degrees of teleport. You know he can do little skips, and you know he can do long hops.
Yeah. I mean, I was able to do Dimension Door, so he probably could too. I would
He has
say
a different array of spells than you did.
yeah. I'd say I don't know. He has multiple ways of moving around a battlefield extremely fast. He is literally made to fight you.
Do I see any strategic locations where a short distance teleport would be made?
Hold on one second. He just said he is literally made to fight you. Now,
Yeah.
you've known what peacekeepers were before. You knew that there were peacekeepers that were able to carry shields and swords and stuff like that. However, you've never seen a peacekeeper use a sword as a conduit of magic, and he literally just used the phrase, he was literally made to fight you. That would be a bit of a revelation. I don't know if you would react to that before
Oscar is thinking about it as he's saying, okay, where's the strategic locations where he would teleport? Because he is actually looking to assume that the guy's coming back to attack him now, based on what Laszlo just said.
Sure. You can make an intelligence check to see if you can think of where that might be, but you don't know the city very well at all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start going towards the inn, and I'm just gonna say we need to get out of here now.
So yeah, you can't. It's honestly, you're not entirely sure where it might be. It could be one of many places, especially if it was because you're thinking of three-dimensional teleportation decisions. Even if you had the choice of 200 meters, it's a pretty big distance in a city in Doxy. So you saw him throw that flare out there. You saw how things kind of played out afterwards, and the fact that guy teleported away. The guy literally looks at you after and says, "I'm sorry. I am. That's not my focus."
You did well. I'm happy with that.
He seems relieved.
Oscar is looking around, like just literally watching his back after what Laszlo just said.
You see Chris Ellen in the window with the gnome.
Oscar just gives her a nod as well from the street.
As she's nodding back at him, she'll look back and say, as a matter of fact, and she'll go ahead and heal him for another d6.
Okay. You look around in all directions. He doesn't seem to be returning.
Okay. It seems we have a reprieve for a moment, but he is going to report back that you were here.
He'll be here tomorrow
He'll be here
with
tomorrow.
reinforcements.
Yes, so we need to leave.
Yes.
Who is the guy who threw the rock with the sling still about?
Yeah, he's actually he was out when that guy teleported away. He waited a couple moments, kind of like you, and then he turned and walked back into the tavern, into the inn.
Okay.
Sorry, not tavern.
Oscar picks up the remnants of the shield if it's not still burning hot.
It's starting to cool.
Starting to cool. He's gonna take.
So it's one of those things where it's like have you ever melted?
He does a quick pat.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just like melt, misshapen, and whatnot. But yeah, you can totally grab it up if you need because you have gloves on. Totally grab it up.
Yeah, it's more just like a kind of a memory. Well, let's go. Can you see well enough to get to the inn, or do you need?
Yes, it just hurts.
Okay. Do you need me to guide you?
I should be fine.
Would it help?
You need to keep a lookout.
I am keeping a lookout. I can keep a lookout and hold on to you so that you don't go walking astray.
We need to. He's bad news.
Yes, I can gather that, and you will need to debrief us, but we need to move.
Yes. All right. What do we do about the gnome?
We figure out where Chrysalin is at with it, and we make a decision, and it has to be a quick one. We move now.
So, Doxy, so you're up there, and you hear, can I come in? from the familiar voice.
The rat.
Yep.
She will let him in.
So you open up the door and
Probably put a quick kiss on him if they had been together and like it was that good of a time.
yeah. So you open up the door, and when you see it's him, you just quickly lean forward and give him a kiss before they can even react or do anything.
Like it's the most natural thing. Like it's my husband coming home.
Catches him off guard for a second, leans into it. And then after that's done, he was just like, just checking to make sure that you're okay.
I'm great. My friend is a little worse for wear, but how are you?
They knocked on my door, and then I saw them knock on your door. I was hoping to do that later, but
How'd you know I was here?
I saw you in town.
I'm afraid I'll be ushered away very shortly. But I do hope to run into you again very soon.
Looks at the gnome that you have tied to the chair. Everything's good.
Oh, yes.
Nods and says, good luck. And then
Do you want to do anything with these? And she gestures to the corpses.
looks at them and says, oh, they might have some coin, actually. And starts like...
That is so direct.
So
By
when
all
you,
means.
when you guys come upstairs and go looking in the room, you literally see a hobgoblin knelt down on the floor, taking belongings off of the two corpses lying in the room. This pool of blood out in the hallway. There's people like leaning out the doors and whatnot. Like, what the fuck? What happened here? The innkeeper was like hiding behind the desk with like a crossbow in hand. Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? And Chrysalin is just kind of comfortably standing
Oscar,
there.
Laszlo,
Yeah.
my loved rat.
He gives you a nod and goes back
I'm
to
gonna walk
his...
over to the mage. How close is he to the window?
I mean, I imagine still sitting... His one arm's completely untied, the other one's loose, but he's kind of like rested his hand a good bit, but he's not like pulled it free or anything. He's not trying to try his luck here or anything like that. But yeah, and there's like, of course, there's a sheet thrown out the window.
I'm gonna hold my wand under his throat, under his neck, and I'm gonna say, Justin is here.
So you said it to who? Oh, to him?
To the gnome.
Yeah. The gnome nods slowly, but you can tell that this... You actually roll me a perception empathy if you have it.
Okay. Laszlo's like...
You can tell
really pissed.
when they nod in understanding, like agreement, you can see that there's fear in his eyes. Like he knows the significance of Justin as well.
I
he
think
in
we bring
charge?
our friend with us, Laszlo, and we leave.
What's your name?
Inhales, looks about the room. Even like there's like a long pause, like a very long pause. Even Durat looks up, like, you gonna answer? You know what I mean? As he's like counting out the coin that he's pulling out of a purse. And he looks and says, friend dog.
Oscar. Nice to meet you. Seems you're going to be coming along with us.
Delighted. And then that was more of a defeated look in his eyes there.
Are you two quite all right?
Oscar's actually going to walk over to Laszlo and just put a hand on his shoulder, and it's meant to be comforting. It probably isn't, but he's trying.
No, he's just like... He's like a ball of tension right now.
Yeah.
Like he's very
Hold on, let me
stressed.
get that for you. And he just starts giving you a nice massage. No,
I was going to say that Chrysalin would offer him a massage later on for sure.
Chrysalin, one of the most ruthless peacekeepers I've ever met, is now going to be hunting us.
We'll kill him.
Laszlo, I understand what you said before, which is why you and I are going to have a nice, long talk about what exactly that means and exactly what you mean by designed. Because that is a conversation that we can have alone because I need to have that conversation with you first before that goes anywhere else. Do you understand?
We should kill them. And I look at the gnome.
No.
Standing up to saying, I don't think this is what I'm meant to be here for, and kind of like tying like a pack of stuff to his side belt or whatever it is, and then you can actually see this is Durat. Yeah, you can see he grabs something and he kind of like flips it into the air and catches it and says, "I think I'll take my leave." What he flipped up in the air and caught, just so you know, Josh, you've seen it before. That fork. It's actually a specific type of wand that's a strong conduit for two different things. One, it actually enhances people's ability to summon. And two, if it was created correctly, it also enhances electrical damage. Like as a conduit for electricity as well. It's a very specific type of wand. It takes a degree of mastering to use correctly, but it is good for both summoning and for electricity. Doxy, you're gonna say something.
The rat darling, do you mind guarding my door as I gather my things?
He looks about the room and says, "Of course," and then walks over across the hall.
Excuse me.
Turns back.
I hold out the wand I stole from this boy, from him, and I say, "Do you care if we trade wands? That is. That one is much more useful to me."
Roll communications. Are you happy with your result?
If it's useful for him, it's useful for me.
Hold on one second.
I'm not going to waste a die on this. That's just greed.
No, it's great. This is literally the campaign. Now, mind you, if it was Neil would be torn. Something of in-game monetary value or luck dice. I don't know. Which one do I hoard more?
Fuck it. Do it.
All right, fine. It depends on like if it's. I did that. I did that wrong.
You just rolled one S4. Much better.
15.
Okay, so it's one of those things where he looks at you, and it's one of those like, I don't know, but then Chris Ellen says it, and he's like, just keep it, and hands it to you.
Thank you.
Doesn't even take the other wand. And he'll walk across the hall and open Chris Ellen's door for her because somebody else already picked the lock.
Yeah. Ka,
Yeah, where is Ka?
Here.
Oh my god.
and she starts gathering her things.
Mm-hmm. He's just
I'll
going
go
to
get the
stand in the
card.
doorway. He's just going to lean there. And it's one of those, he doesn't like offer to help, but he's also not like, he would probably make a very light conversation with you. He's not a very chatty person, but you know, you can bring it out in him. And so it took you a moment to kind of like fall into that groove. And then like you can get him, it's one of those, he's not going to open conversation, be chatty, but if you ask questions, he'll answer them. And so you just start asking questions that are require a little bit more response, and you kind of like pull the chat out of them. You know what I mean? So
I'm actually awesome at that in real life.
I know.
Actually, Chris Ellen leaves the room. When she does, I'll close the door behind her and I'll look to Oscar and go, Oscar, they can track us with him.
How?
They know who he is. All they have to do is scry on him to
They
find
know
us.
who you are.
They can't scry me.
Why not?
I've worked for a very long time to block them.
I can do work, he says.
I'm gonna ignore him. I really. I go. If we cut out his tongue, if we take off his hands, they'll just put him right back on. They've offered to kill my hands once, just to make me better at my job. There's only one way to stop him.
You. Friend dog. Plead your case.
I'm not exactly what you think I am.
Oscar just looks at him with that dead look of, you better fucking elaborate.
He looks at Laszlo and says, Tell him what I'm good at. And you can answer the question based
It's
off the clothing
illusions.
that is here. His major focus is illusions. Actually, before I finish answering that question, let me just double check something. Sorry.
I think it'd be abjuration.
Give me one second. You hear scrolling. His major focus is illusions, and his minor focus is alteration or transmutation.
I'm gonna walk over to what's his name? Fun Dog.
Friend dog.
Friend dog. Yeah.
Friend Dog. And I'm gonna say, Friend Dog.
Nods.
My name is Laszlo. I am a traitor to the Arcane Congress. The fact that you spoke to me, Justin will probably kill you.
I understands that. I see who's hunting you. Jocelyn is legendary.
Yeah. If I didn't leave, I would be on his level. And with that, I am gonna cast for the first time. It's not like it's a mantle, arcane mantle, and what it does is it shows my inner arcane power. It displays it to him. So what I think would happen would there be 2 layers, right? There would be the Arcane Congress version, this overbearing, structured building of like Doom, and a person of Doom, and then the Maltese more pliable, flexible version of magic.
Just out of curiosity, do I see this as well, or is it just?
It just happens. Everyone sees it. It just displays my
So
inner.
it's just for me and Friend Dog. All right. Oh shit.
So he sees that and he's like, "Oh, you well, you know who? I mean, I understand. I do, but you know, Jocelyn, he hunts people like you. He's the only one to have ever survived the insurgents in Silencio. He's
I laugh. I start laughing. And then I'll take off my glasses, my goggles, and I said, no, he's not.
You take off your goggles and like reveal your eyes, and he's like all wide-eyed, and it's one of those things where like he like jumps backwards, but because he's in a chair, it like
and Oscar
kinda
is posted
hops.
up behind him as well, so it just
No,
bumped
right
him
behind
in.
him's the window.
Yeah. Oscar's kind of moved behind him and scooted him forward a little bit, just so he's holding him there.
You could just tap the back of the chair.
Keeping him there so
So-
he doesn't fall out the window. It's really just guarding the window.
Jumps backwards and like I suppose slams into Oscar or whatever it is, so that he like from seeing that he's like, you're a Sill? He says that no, I will not help you. I refuse to help you. You abomination. This was a trick. I should have seen through the illusions. I should have known this was a trick. You can kill me if you must. Doxy, you can hear this through the your door. You can kill me if you must. I will never work with your kind.
Oscar's just gonna cover this guy's mouth.
I'll put the goggles
Tries
back
to bite
on.
your hand, but of course you have a gloved hand. You know what I mean? So it's
I'm
like a
not-
hard pinch, but it's something that
And
actually hurts.
I'm just gonna lean in to his ear, and I'm actually gonna like grip his mouth, so I actually turn his head and just slowly and carefully lean into his ear and just say, "Well, you've made your choice then." And the longsword goes through his back.
So Chris Allen's like, oh, Jesus, what's going on? Puts down whatever summer dress she was working on, goes over, whips open the door just to see come through the front of his chest.
I'll hold my head down. I mean, and I'll just turn and put the goggles back on.
You turn, you put the goggles back on, and it's one of those things where as you finally look up,
He
you see...
was valuable.
Was. Isn't anymore.
You do not make those decisions
We
without
all
consulting
make those
all of
decisions. That decision was made. It's done.
Chris Allen, it's my fault. I shouldn't.
us. I
have
was gonna
shown my-
send him on a route different from us, knowing that they would track him. You would have been miles in the wrong direction.
He would have attacked
You
me as soon as he get a
idiots! You
chance.
idiot boys!
If you had understood what just transpired.
You will not speak to me right now. I will go calm
I
down.
am speaking to you right
leaves.
now very simply. If you
He-
had seen
he's
what
gone.
just happened,
Slams the door.
Oscar's just over it at this point. And yeah.
I'll get the cart.
She goes and looks for Ka also once she's packed up.
Yeah, this place was too nice for Ka. He wasn't going to stay in this hotel. It was just too nice for him. So he most likely would have found, with whatever coin you gave him to work with, some sort of very crappy place, some place that he would feel more comfortable. You know what I mean? Just everything's too much. So it's because it's the middle of the night. Don't forget, it's going to take some time to find him. If you want to leave now, you'd have to go into various hotel rooms and ask questions and so on and so forth. I'm not saying, inns, I mean. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying it's not going to be easy for you to do, with it being the middle of the night. I mean, it's short.
He doesn't have money.
Didn't you give him a small amount of money before?
No.
Confusing that with something else. But either way, he wouldn't have wanted to stay here. He would have he'd actually be in the car. In the car, actually, yeah, because he would have felt way more comfortable there then, which is fine. But this was too much. Like this.
And I feel like I would have known. I feel like I've built enough trust with Ka that I would have asked him what he planned to do. You don't think I could roll something?
I mean, that's fine. They're going to be in the car either way. So
okay.
So is it one of those things where you just grab the rest of your clothes, throw them inside the bag, or do you leave your shit behind? Because you were still in the middle of stuff in your room.
Oh, she would finish packing.
Okay, yeah. But I imagine it's hurried. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Now it's definitely awkward silence with Durat. I imagine maybe you might mumble a few things to him.
She would be just super pleasant with him and be like, so sorry you had to hear that.
Shrugs.
Anyway, your adventures.
Shakes his head and
she's
says,
just folding a lot quicker.
It's one of those things. Shakes his head and he's like, it's not important right now. He's like,
hi, could you help me carry these down to my cart?
Gladly helps you carry the stuff. After you guys he brings the stuff to the cart, he says to you, maybe we will see each other again. I'm probably going to head back east.
All right. I look forward to surviving this journey. Finding you again.
At least they're capable, says, looking up at the inn.
They are.
And then he goes to do because he's not presumptuous. He's not the kind of person who would presumptuously take a goodbye kiss or whatever it is. So he would just turn to leave, just
into the shadows.
She would kiss him. She would fully kiss him.
Yeah. So again, you give he goes to leave just politely, and you're like,
catch his hand and pull him in, and then
again leans into
flirty.
it once it's there. Yeah, and then would end up leaving. Would end up leaving or whatever it is. One of the things you do find as you throw the last bag into the cart is that definitely one of the sacks of gold that he took off of those people beforehand, he left it there. Not because, just because he was being nice. You know what I mean? Just left a little bit there. So he left behind it was 22 gold sitting there.
On me?
Yeah, right in the cart. As you go to throw your last bag and you put it down, you realize he left behind one of the little sacks there, and there's 22 gold in it.
That's sweet.
Yeah. And so anyways, you have that. You go to get the cart, Laszlo. It's one of those things where you go down to the cart to get it, and Ka's definitely awake. And Chrysaline's there and very upset, and you come walking around and see her there, and
I won't say anything to her. Well, actually, I would. I would walk by and say, "I'm sorry," and I will get into. I'll get into the driver's seat.
Oscar gives space. He's riding horse and takes separation.
And I will get right into books with Ka.
Yeah, he takes quite a distant lead here and takes a step away from it, pretty much.
You guys are leaving the town, correct?
Yep.
Not before you leave the town. The sky lights up a little bit. As from a distance, not the surprising source. There is a massive fire with various bursts and pops and bursts and streams coming off of it somewhere in the town as a raging fire that you imagine does not engulf only one building begins.
Oscar kind of falls back on the horse and lines up with the cart and just looks over at Laszlo. I guess it's done.
I hope they're okay.
Me too.
You guys are on your horses, heading off into the night, knowing exactly where it is that you want to head to. We'll have to figure that out next week when we play again, though. So, as we bring our session to a close, before we talk about anything else, I am interested in hearing about Schism. One more time. Tell me about this Schism.
Schism is a tabletop board game that we have developed over at Arcanist Entertainment. That's myself, that's Doxy, that's Josiah, and that is Ollie. So
He's in chat.
actually,
Dungeon Papa.
Yeah, he is in chat.
You ain't my
right now.
daddy.
And
You ain't my
also,
daddy.
You can actually go to that link there to see our website. This is, I'm actually just going to, just for the sake of making sure that nothing gets weird here, I'm actually going to turn off my virtual background because there is some slightly green hues here. But this is the box for the Immolation of Oathensfer. This is the first starter set for Schism, which is meant to be a tabletop war game. It's a skirmisher, so very fast-paced, quick. It's meant to be an introductory to tabletop war games. So if you've never played something like Warhammer before, and you're curious to get into it, but maybe the rules are a little bit overwhelming, this is a game that's designed to make it a little bit easier for you to understand what's happening and make it very easy. It's got a simple set of rules. Basically, it's so easy that our moms can learn it. That was the goal for both Ollie and I when we set out, because my mom is not a war gamer by any stretch, but she's quite strategically minded and she likes this kind of stuff. And so, and I know Ollie's mom is the same way. Smart people, but war games are a little bit overwhelming and they wanted something a little bit easier. So this is what that is. It's meant to be an easy introduction into war games and into essentially fast-paced tabletop content like that with a good line of strategy. Josiah's mom is just better than all of us. It's annoying. So anyways, this is actually currently up on Kickstarter, but you can go to the link on our website there. There's also a link directly to the Kickstarter, but you can also see a little bit more about it on our website there. So please check it out. We would really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, sir. How's the Kickstarter going since it fired off?
It's going all right. I mean, right now we're in the middle of a global pandemic, so it's about.
Yeah, exactly. It was one of those things where it's like, oh, this is probably the worst time, but how could you even hope to plan for it?
It's bad timing, and the reality of the situation is that depending on how things go from an economic standpoint for the world right now, we may actually need to pull and relaunch. There is always a chance of that, just by the very nature of the world we're living in right now. But we're actually prepared for that. We're looking at all of our options right now. But either way, showing your support and following the project as well tells us that you're interested, even if you're not able to support right now. It helps out a lot. So we would still love it if you would check it out no matter what. We are still looking into what our options are, just for full transparency. That we're in a global pandemic, so everything is up in the air. But we are actually very impressed so far with how the Kickstarter's gone. There's been a lot of amazing support. A lot of people are really interested in the game. We've gotten a lot of great questions as well about it. So very excited. It seems like there's a lot of people who have a keen interest in the game, and we can actually thank a lot of you in the audience for that. So I really do appreciate it.
I think Wade had a degree of interest in it too. So
yeah.
So I didn't get a chance to
If it gets backed hard enough, I'll find everybody and give you individual high fives.
There you go.
You can't.
Social distancing.
Yeah.
Fives.
Yeah.
Air fives.
Air fives. 6 feet away, air fives.
I'll just take nudies. It's okay. Like I'm easy. Josiah, send them to me. So all right. Thank you very much, sir. On a more personal note, sir, what are you doing on your channel? I saw you actually playing games recently. I haven't seen you stream forever, and I actually saw you playing the other day.
Yeah, so Divinity Original Sin 2, playing with a few friends. We're actually doing like a role play through of Divinity Original Sin 2. It's actually pretty fun.
That's why I was like, it sounds like they're role playing with one another and not chatting with one another. So when I started talking to you in your chat, and you started responding via text and not verb, and I was like, I think they're actually RPing now.
We were role playing in games.
You guys are hardcore nerds. Respect.
Oh yeah, absolutely we are, and it was a great time, and it was actually a really, really great. It was a really great show.
Was you, Tantus, and who else? And is it going to be the same crew every time?
Myself, Tantus, Tiv, and Lightning, and it's the same crew every
Oh,
time.
I heard Lightning's voice. I didn't identify Tiv's voice. I won't lie, but I did identify Lightning's voice as well. Yeah,
absolutely. So we're playing Saturdays at around 1 p.m. PST. I think 1 p.m. PST is what we decided on last week.
Should be 4 here.
Yep, which is 4 EST. So that's what I'm doing on my channel right now. I was also I'm there's potentially more. So best place to follow me is actually on Twitter right now, which is at Will and Graham, because that's where you can hear all of the updates. And I am going to be doing a couple more shows over the next little while, and I'm also on Ollie's channel on Sundays, so you can check me out there. But I post all of my other show stuff on Twitter, so that is a great place to find me. And also, there will be a lot of retweets about Schism and stuff as well, so you can check out. You kind of get a twofer there if you follow me, and also Doxy on Twitter, because she does the same thing. So.
Speaking of Foxy,
also Josiah.
Yeah, also Josiah.
Yeah, fuck that guy. We don't know who he is.
Hey, he's the sexiest of all of us.
I've never met him. I have said hi to him while he was live on Ollie's channel.
Yeah.
And he has said hi back. And that's the extent of it.
All right,
so,
we need to change that.
So,
that is at some point we need to change that, because Josiah, I think you and Josiah would get along really well.
Yeah, so, I have a feeling like we won't. I have a feeling like...
Well,
yeah.
He's another Canadian, so...
Okay, never mind. He's clearly a better person than me.
You'll be fine. If you like me, you'll like Josiah. He's just a better version of me, so...
No.
He's pretty dang wonderful.
Speaking of pretty, Doxy.
You quit it. Hi, I'm Doxy. Can I just really quickly say, before I go into the dick sucking, Doxy loved that moment. Chrisellen did not.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Totally.
Doxy loved that moment though. I was like, I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah.
Chrisellen's gonna wig. All right, sorry. Yeah. That was amazing roleplay.
Very good.
Also, sorry I cut your speech off short, but she would have definitely left you.
That poor guy. He's like, I'm a delivery boy. All I do is deliver the goods. I'm not even the one that always. I'm always literally the random guy.
Yeah, and it
you delivered the pizza to the wrong house.
Basically, that's pretty much what happened. Yep, just a roundabout way of him getting into the wrong redneck neighborhood.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hi, I'm Doxy. I'm disgusting, and I love you. You should follow me at twitch.tv.
She looked directly at me and I saw it.
DXY. You can follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/ZRODOXY. My Instagram is pretty spicy. You can find that. It's at Hellacious Malacious. By Schism.
Thank you, Doxy. And to counter something in chat, Naga, he's not racist. Remember, they literally are taught that they're not people. That they're taught that those are not people, not because they're like, no, because like other people have done this. Like, no. They're literally a failed science experiment. They're not people, they're abominations. Like in real life history, there's never been somebody who has come into existence out of a failed science experiment. So any type of equation like that is a false equation. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying it's a false equation to put like real world terms and stuff like that. He literally does not know that those are people. So when he thinks that Josh is that, he thinks Josh is not people. He thinks he's a failed science experiment that needs to be eradicated because he's going to ruin the world. You know what I mean? Save the cheerleader, save the world. Josh, speaking of cheerleaders,
I have an army of chairs. I'm Funny One. You can catch me on Twitch occasionally. On Mondays. I Call of Cthulhu and games.
Okay, well, that's a thing. Hey, I actually got what's that game called again? I was actually gifted
Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter. The deluxe edition was gifted to me by Wade.
Yeah.
last night because he's like a super nice dude. So he got me the deluxe edition, which took 65 years to download because holy shit. And I played it with Tesh last night. And I'm excited because I'm definitely going to be playing that game some more, either by myself or with other people. But I usually make male characters when I play games like that. But when I started making the game, there was just like the face of the female character that popped up was so fucking beautiful. It was so stunning. I had to play the female of that game. I was like, oh my god, she's just so gorgeous. I have to be her. And so I'm going through the process and picking out the horrible looking armor that is just terrible, and picking through all the stuff. And I got a little pussy, and I got to make it an angry little pussy, which is awesome. But anyways, it asked me for my character's name, and I had to choose the most classic woman's name I could think of. So I went Naghite, and I'm really excited to say that is my Monster Hunter character, Naghite. All right.
Neil, you were also my drunken slut companion this evening.
True.
It was real good.
Yeah. I think Scott honestly just hit a new level of boomer because he told the same story within like 3 hours.
I did it. I did it
twice.
Just because
I think it was warranted.
Yeah.
I'm on your side, Scott.
Yeah.
Sorry, Josh.
I just
Love
think
you,
it's
bud.
Neil's.
The betrayal.
Justin.
No, but I have Monster Hunter as well. Card flipped out. Like, he messaged me on my Discord and he was like, Scott's playing Monster Hunter. I was like, really? I didn't think he would play that game, but okay.
I won't lie. At first, I was like, this is horrible. The intro, the whole tutorial is one of the worst tutorials I've ever played in my life. It was shaky cam. It was all over the place. It taught you nothing about the game. It was lots of blah, blah, blah. It was like, what are you doing? Just give me a knife and show me how to swing it. But eventually you get through the tutorial and you're like, okay, this game's like weird. And okay, well, fighting monsters. Okay, this is it. Oh, that's a big mon. Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
it's really beautiful too.
Yeah, it's true.
I can't play that game. Yeah. I can't do it.
Yeah. I mean,
it's too grindy for me. I played it and I got to the point where you have to grind.
See, I can't do it. You're just killing innocent little babies trying to live their best
cutting
lives
off their tails.
I don't like it. I can't handle it.
No, for me, it's
no, thank you.
But playing with a group of people would definitely be a lot of fun. Playing by myself was definitely I'm glad to get through the intro that way. I would definitely want to play with people because that's going to make it a lot more fun. And watching on Tesh's stream, watching Tesh and Pat and Wade play while I'm in a Discord call with them, not doing what they're doing, looking at their screen going, that looks like fun. I want to do the things that they are doing. I guess I'll go collect herbs. So, yeah, it was pretty sad. All right, anyways, we should probably end the stream and get the fluff out of here. A lot of daddies were awarded. Can we just do everybody a favor and just dump them all tomorrow and just like ruin that campaign? Like, why don't we just ruin their campaign, right? Because we like the other campaigns.
Rena.
What?
I mean, to be fair, Rena was almost a Trump last session, so she had a speech and everything. It was really interesting. You guys should check it out. It was actually a really interesting session.
Actually, it was a very, very fun session. So, but anyways, I will talk to you guys. I'll dump on Messy. That is gross. All right. Bye, everybody. You know where the places are. You know how to do the things and more stuff. So figure it out and be loved.